Night settles over the camp. Under a pale moon, rows of tents stand quietly between the mountains, lit only by flickering torches. Inside, the atmosphere is far from calm. Wounded soldiers lie on simple beds, groaning in pain. Some clutch their injuries, others barely move beneath the sheets. A calm voice cuts through the chaos. Hold on a little longer. It's almost done. A priest kneels beside a wounded man, his hands glowing with warm, golden light. The magic flows gently over torn flesh and blood-soaked bandages. Nearby, another soldier cries out, "Priest, please look over here, too." The priest turns sharply. "Yes, I'll be right there." His face is tense, sweat running down his brow as he moves from bed to bed. A name appears. Briol Priest Germain. Golden light erupts again as he raises both hands, chanting softly. A basin before him fills with shimmering liquid, glowing like molten gold. Step back for a moment. The water begins to swirl unnaturally, radiating a strange, almost divine aura. Amazing. The glow reflects in his eyes. Magic. Later that night, 3 figures sit on wooden crates near the edge of the camp. The priest slumps forward, completely exhausted. Beside him sits a silver-haired noble, calm and composed. Corey sits slightly apart, hood still drawn low, watching silently. The battlefield sleeps. But something in Corey's eyes is wide awake. The noble speaks gently, thanking those who fought. Lord Hernando waves it off, reminding them the damage could have been far worse. Then his tone darkens. The true battle has not even begun yet. He lifts his hands in a brief prayer, then gestures toward the campfire. Nearby, soldiers gather around the flames. One strums a lute. Others clap softly. Laughter drifts through the air, even after coming so close to death. They still find ways to heal. Hernando raises a finger. A spark of golden magic shoots into the sky. The heavens answer, an aurora explodes above the camp green. Blue, violet, and gold dancing across the night. For a moment, pain and fear fade away. Only wonder remains. Under the glowing sky, Corey finally speaks. "Lord Hernando, please teach me magic." Hernando lets out a quiet laugh. "That's something I haven't heard in a long time." He places a hand gently on Corey's head. "Why do you want to learn magic?" Corey hesitates. His Highness recommended it. And also. His gaze drifts toward the laughing soldiers. Magic, not as power, but as hope. Morning comes. Mist clings to the grass as knights prepare their horses. "Your Highness, the Imperial Knights have arrived." The prince rises calmly. "Of course. Since Balsad is right ahead, they must have come on purpose." Armored figures approach. I greet the Third Prince of Briol, Imperial Knight Rapio Artem. The prince studies them. "And the knight behind you." The man steps forward. "So we meet again." Rain pours as a sword crashes into the ground. For him, that sword is more than a weapon. It is his past. Graham Hartfall, once an Imperial Knight. Now stripped of his title. "It's good to see you, Sir Graham. Please, don't call me that. If you lost your title." "Are you serving as a common soldier?" "Yes." "Shamefully so." Another knight steps forward. Sir Graham did nothing wrong. He only met the wrong superior. The prince's voice hardens. There is no knight with a reputation as great as Sir Graham's. Memories flash, a knight standing proud, and the same man kneeling in silence. "I never thought we would meet again like this." The wind moves softly through the clearing. Another knight bows. "It's an honor to meet you, Sir Graham." Graham exhales. "You flatter me too much." The prince steps closer and extends his hand. This time, "Won't you come to Briol?" For a heartbeat, the world seems to hold its breath. Graham stands between the past he carries and the future now reaching out to him. Under the open sky, the knight in silver armor speaks quietly. I may loathe imperial knights now, but you are different. His gaze hardens as old memories surface. In my past life, you spared me, and you bore that cost alone. In his mind, he sees a lone figure running into the rain, carrying consequences no one else was willing to take. Back in the present, he lifts his eyes. So, Sir Graham, if you come to Briol, I'll treat you well. The journey continues. Towering stone gates rise before them. Bathed in sunlight, we've finally arrived. Beyond the walls spreads a vast city of red roofs and white towers, nestled between mountains and river, the gathering place of the allied forces, Balsad. The massive walls dwarf everything around them. The armored knight glances up, impressed. It's much larger than I expected. For a city in the plains, its influence is considerable, he mutters, half-jokingly. Was this built with magic? The Dukes of Balsad have always been mages, the silver-haired noble replies calmly. The knight's tone lowers. More importantly, Your Highness, be careful. If you let your guard down here, you might get devoured. Inside the city, a golden horse statue rears atop a marble pedestal. The atmosphere turns heavy and opulent. Nobles gather beneath glowing chandeliers. Conversations hush. Welcome to Balsad. The voice is calm. Absolute. I am the Duke of Balsad. Mary Rose Antor steps forward, her crimson gown shimmering. She smiles brightly. It's a pleasure to meet you, Knights of Briol. Her eyes settle on the prince. So you're the Third Prince of Briol. I am Yuri Briol, commander of Briol's army. She tilts her head playfully. You're very handsome. How old are you? 18. Her eyes light up. Oh my. That's 4 years older than me. We'll get along well, right? Not sure. Inside, Yuri's thoughts darken. She knows how to use her beauty, and instinctively. He doesn't trust her. A shadowed memory of a blonde woman flashes through his mind. She rises, wineglass in hand. Knights of Briol. Yuri speaks firmly. Age doesn't matter. If wills align, anyone can be friends. She leans closer, intrigued. So that's what you believe, Your Highness? He continues. From now on, we fight this war together. Across the table, Bruson's knights exchange glances. Mary Rose swirls her wine. Then let's get closer first. And take our time. Yuri's gaze hardens slightly. She sways people with charm. And he doesn't like it. The tension shifts. Briol is just a tiny backwater. One knight mutters. A broad-shouldered man steps forward. I am Jonathan, commander of Briol. Wine is poured. Is this really wine? Yuri smiles faintly. For a backwater, it's surprisingly good. One of Bruson's men snaps. Are you looking down on us? The room tightens. Jonathan slams a hand on the table. Should I take that as an insult? Yuri leans back. Do you want me to apologize? Jonathan narrows his eyes. Either the rumors are true, or His Highness is testing us. There's nothing more dangerous than an ally you can't trust. Yuri stands. So, can you prove yourself? A knight proves himself with his sword. Silence. Mary Rose smiles softly. I'll guide you to the training grounds myself. The academy courtyard. Two armored knights face each other. Dust drifts between them. High above, 3 figures watch from a balcony. Mary Rose lounges with a glass of wine. An older knight stands beside her. And the prince watches with a knowing smirk. Did you pick that fight on purpose? She asks. Well, it gives me something interesting to watch. Don't play dumb. You're the one who set the stage. Oh my. And you grabbed onto it like you'd been waiting. His expression turns serious. Testing Bruson's strength matters. But there's something else we need to confirm. Below them, recruits stand in formation. Someday. One of them, a dark silhouette, fills the frame. May inherit the title of the continent's strongest. Bold. Words echo, the 10 greats dot inside the arena. The air feels heavy. It doesn't hurt to find out. Early, to warriors clasp hands. I'm Freund, I'm Laurent. Laurent grins. Yes is enough. Let's have a proper bout, brat. Freund stays silent. From above, Yuri watches closely. This isn't just a test. Freund exhales. I'll be learning from you. And with that, the real battle is about to begin. A skeletal hand closes around a glowing king piece. Text fades in, the name they carry. In every war, certain names alone hold overwhelming power. The scene cuts to Yuri, silent, thoughtful. His gloved fingers rest against his lips. The narration reflects that forming ties with promising people will one day become priceless. And men's friendships often begin with a fight. The arena comes into view. Freund stands calm and focused. Across from him, Laurent flanker smirks confidently. Someone mutters he's a famous tournament prodigy. Steel crashes into stone. Laurent charges with a brutal overhead strike. Then a close-up of Freund's eye. It sharpens. This fight is about to be more than anyone expected. The duel explodes into motion. Laurent attacks first, sweeping in a clean arc. From the stands, Yuri watches closely. The movements are flawless. Textbook footwork. Refined swordsmanship, but Yuri's eyes narrow. Too predictable. Laurent presses harder, declaring he'll take the first victory. The blades collide, sparks burst. Then everything changes. Freund pivots, slips inside Laurent's range, and counters in one precise motion. The blade flashes past Laurent's guard. The crowd gasps. Freund's sword stops just short of Laurent's throat. A bead of sweat slides down Laurent's face. The outcome is decided. Freund lowers his blade calmly. No celebration. No arrogance. The duel ends in silence. Everyone understands something. This isn't just a promising night. This is someone dangerous. Laurent exhales sharply. Well, I was completely caught. His sword slips from his hand. The match is over. The arena erupts in applause. On the balcony, the tension eases. Marios praises Briol's knights. Yuri leans back. 1-2-0, he says casually. Are you backing down already? The Brusson commander snaps, Jose. A powerful knight steps forward. A nameplate appears, Jose a reader, Knight of Brusson. The commander explains he's their strongest knight. The air tightens. Another duel is about to begin. From the Brusson side, a voice calls out, Jared. You go this time. A blonde knight stiffens. Me. His comrades cheer him on. Jared steps forward. Nervous, Jose extends his hand. I'll be in your care. Jared shakes it. I'm Jared. Unease creeps in. That face. The face of a warrior hungry for victory. Jose grips his sword. Then I'll go first. He launches forward. The duel begins. A terrifying red aura erupts around. Jose. The air vibrates with killing intent. Jared panics. I have to block it. Jose crashes down with overwhelming force. A massive red tears through the arena. I can't block this. The impact detonates. Jared is thrown back, blood spraying from his mouth. Jose swings again. Another violent red crescent slams down. Steel collides. Jared's blade screams under pressure. Laurent watches calmly. Jose a raider. Strength like an orc. But techniques far beyond the norm. Jose explodes forward again. His sword comes down like a guillotine. The impact sends Jared flying. He skids across the arena floor. The match is over. Jared collapses on one knee. From the stands, the command comes down. Enough Jose offers a hand. He praises Jared for lasting as long as he did. Jared accepts it with a weak smile. Laurent declares the score 101. The sparring session is finished. The knights burst into applause. A delicate hand rests against a champagne glass on the balcony. The black-haired knight turns to the red-haired woman. "It's time we start getting to know each other better," he says calmly. Building trust with comrades is important. She studies his face. "You're right. But I'm a little disappointed." Her hand touches the brooch on his shoulder. She leans closer. "You said it was important to understand Brusson." With a teasing smile, she asks if he plans to keep putting off getting to know her too. She gently lifts his chin. Her blue eyes lock onto his. The tension shifts from battle to something far more personal. The red-haired woman leans in close, her lace-gloved fingers resting lightly against his cheek. She reminds him it's important to understand Brusson, then teasingly asks if he plans to keep avoiding getting to know her. Caught off guard, he stiffens and murmurs her title, gaze flicking away. She cups his chin, lifting his face to meet her eyes, his expression tightening with unease. Then a voice breaks the tension from behind. A man casually reminds them he promised to show them his office. She straightens instantly, laughing it off like nothing happened. He's left unsettled, wondering if that moment was all an act. When the man offers to show the office right now, she agrees confidently. He politely excuses himself, saying he has business with his knights, and slips away. The Archmage Duke suddenly vanishes in a blur. The red-haired noblewoman stares after him. Stunned, her face flushes with irritation as she clenches her fists. Muttering angrily about his strange behavior, banners from multiple allied nations rise over Balsad. Word spreads that even the Imperial Supreme Commander has arrived. The atmosphere grows tense as each army silently measures the other's strength. Inside the stronghold, commanders form quiet alliances. Everyone is assessing one another, except Briol, outside. He appears in a simple white shirt, sword resting casually at his side, unconcerned. He says they should focus only on training, when another noble points out that others are already forming alliances. Briol smiles. Rushing into politics now, he says, would only lead to shallow results. Pride is the real problem. Every commander believes their forces are the strongest. Empty words won't unite them. The only way, he says, is by showing strength. With a sharp smile, he turns. "Then shall we spar instead?" Boots step across the dirt. Laurent accepts immediately. Blue mana surges around his body as the air trembles from pressure alone. Briol narrows his eyes, as expected. His mana is pure. Laurent explodes forward. Their swords collide in a sharp, metallic crack. Sparks burst as they clash again and again. Laurent swings heavier. Faster, another violent impact echoes across the training ground. Up close, Briol's gaze sharpens. Truly precise. A blade sharpens so keenly it allows not even the slightest disturbance. The scene abruptly shifts. Snow falls in heavy silence. Briol sits slumped against a jagged rock, blood soaking his torn shirt. His sword lies half buried in frost. "Even when you killed me." The sword itself was nothing but pure. The duel snaps back into motion. Briol unleashes a sweeping blue arc of mana. Laurent counters, using recoil to launch himself forward. Both men dash at full speed. Their blades glow as they collide again in a blinding flash. Sparks erupt between their faces as their swords lock. Neither gives an inch. Sweat beads down their brows, but both are smiling. Behind them, knights erupt into cheers, overwhelmed by the intensity. Nearby, a blonde knight watches calmly. He admits everyone is fighting fiercely and acknowledges Briol's skill. Then his attention shifts. A tall knight steps forward, grinning. Golden light sparkles behind him, sir. Jose raises his voice, asking to spar as well. The prince exhales in amusement. He points casually toward Jared. Jared freezes before he can protest. Sir Jose grabs him and drags him away laughing. The prince watches with a relaxed grin. Have fun out there. After the spar ends, Laurent bows politely, thanking His Highness. The prince smiles and tells him they should fight again next time. Laurent walks off. The prince heads to a quiet spot beneath a tree and sits down. The tension finally leaves his body. Did I really gain something from that fight? From the shadows, Asana steps forward. She remarks that his skill has improved. He acknowledges it quietly. His abilities work better out on the plains. The mood turns serious. He asks about the investigation. Into the stranger. Asana lowers her gaze. They found traces of him in Balsad. A shadowed figure appears in his thoughts. The Eastern swordsman known as the Stranger in his past life. That man fought Okaya alone. Arthur's eyes harden. The enemy of my enemy might become my ally. He turns to Asna. They need to go to Balsad next. If they're late, everything could fall apart. Arthur stares ahead grimly, because in the coming battle against Okaya, the man who will inherit a seat among the 10 greats is none other than the Stranger himself. A man stands calmly with a sword in hand, flames raging behind him. Towering over his back, a massive lion made of fire roars into the sky. Ranga Gustav Granzine. Yuri stiffens. He remembers that name. He met this man once. In his previous life, a memory flashes to hands clasped tightly in a quiet palace corridor. One trembling. A ring glinting in the light. Fear hangs heavy in the air. A young nobleman reassures the anxious girl, telling her no one is around. She hesitates, then steels herself and decides to take responsibility. And then a blond man appears behind them, completely unbothered. He lazily tells them to go play somewhere else. The girl freezes when she realizes who he is, her uncle. The man sits up, annoyed by their panic, and casually questions her feelings. He glances at the boy, unimpressed, then decides it's not his problem. With a dismissive wave, he leaves them behind, telling them to figure it out on their own. The story snaps back to the present. Ragna now stands in full armor, composed and overwhelming. Even a short meeting with him leaves a deep impression. Whispers ripple through the room. The Supreme Commander, the Emperor's brother. The setting shifts to the Balsad Castle Council chamber. Nobles sit around a long table, a war map spread out before them. Ragna is formally announced. Some nobles look excited, already thinking about political advantage, even during wartime. Politics still poison the air. Ragna speaks. Pleasantly at first, the atmosphere feels wrong. Then his tone shifts. Pressure suddenly floods the room, crushing everyone in place. Faces go pale. Sweat pours. This is the Empire's Lionheart technique. Ragna makes his rule clear. Anyone who runs away will be cut down. The rest will be rewarded strictly by skill and results. Fear spreads. Across the table, then a young knight raises his hand. The room freezes. He speaks calmly through the pressure, asking how the Empire evaluates the orc strength. Ragna narrows his eyes and asks who he is. The answer comes. Instantly, Yuri Briol, commander. Of the Briol army, a faint smile forms on Ragna's face. He approves of the question. The briefing begins. A man named Okua has appeared. He has already subjugated 3 massive orc tribes. Their power is growing at a dangerous rate, and the first vanguard has been confirmed encamped near Balsad. Silence falls again. Rangya leans over the mat. Battle will begin the day after tomorrow. This will be the Allied forces' first real fight. Then he asks who will take the vanguard. All eyes turn to Yuri. After a brief pause, Yuri accepts. He will stand at the front. Night falls over the camp. Yuri sits alone by a fire. Armor still on, staring into the flames. Mary Rose approaches, her red hair glowing in the firelight. She sits beside him, casually at first, but her eyes are sharp. She points out how decisively he took the vanguard position, how everyone else envies him. Then her tone shifts. This war involves the lives of Balsad's people. They can't entrust the vanguard to just anyone. She asks him to answer seriously, as a royal. Only then will she help him on the battlefield. Yuri reveals his answer without words. He extends his hand into the fire. Flames twist violently around his arm. Bending to his will, he declares his true identity. The Archmage Duke, Mary Rose watches, impressed. She admits he'll be more useful than Hernando on these plains. But Yuri doesn't smile. He says the day after tomorrow, people will die. The scene cuts to knights laughing peacefully by the fire. Anyone laughing here tonight will become a corpse tomorrow. The vanguard loses the most soldiers, and that will happen. He says because he chose it today. Yuri grips the chain. Across his chest, he's not being sentimental. He just wants to carry that weight properly. Mary Rose finally smiles. She says she likes that answer. She steps in front of him and reaches out her hand. He hesitates, then takes it. She introduces herself properly. Mary Rose Antor, Archmage, Duke of Balsad. She promises to aid him in his first battle. Yuri thanks her quietly. Several days pass, deep underground. Something massive crawls through the darkness. Red eyes glow. Saliva drips. The day of the Allied forces' first battle has arrived. Orcs charge forward in a roaring wave. Morning light floods the battlefield. Rangya stands at the front, fully armored, calm as death itself. Behind him, knights line up in formation. Mary Rose stands nearby. Staff in hand, Rangya raises his voice. The entire army comes into view. The command rings out clearly. Prepare for battle.
And that's it for today's episode. If you enjoyed this recap and want to see what happens next, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss the upcoming parts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm reading everything, and your support really helps this channel grow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.